Okay, perhaps we can start with just a brief summary of your career to date and what attracted you to the role which you now have at Stellanor.
Sure. I guess I've been involved in the data center industry for far too many years, about 35 years, I guess, and covers the full spectrum from the last 10 years I was involved in hyperscale development. Before that in enterprise retail colo and a stint running my own development company as well. So I've completed the full spectrum and now back to enterprise and retail. So it's exciting. Stellanor was me postponing my retirement and heading over to join a remarkable team, remarkable backing, some old friends that are on the board, and I get to work with. But and then the clarity of the vision, and the laser focus on what we're trying to do was the exciting bit. So um, moving back to the UK in a few weeks and looking forward to getting stuck into it.
And in terms of your appointment, do you think it sends any particular signal about Stellanor's sort of ambition in terms of the UK co-location market?
I think it shows intent. I mean we're building an incredible team. Uh, there's a lot of experience getting bought in throughout the company, and I think it shows that we're focused, and want that experience to drive the growth, but having certainty over the growth. So it's a I say a very conscious effort. It's not growth for growth's sake. It's a very deliberate, concerted, focused set of activities.
Yeah, and in terms of that growth, if I've got my numbers right, I think you've scaled pretty rapidly from two to, is it 10 facilities at the moment? So in terms of that pace of expansion, is there anything in particular that's driving it? And I guess how sustainable is that model?
It is a rapid growth. I've been here 3 weeks, and we've gone from 2 sites to 10 sites, and some more to come. So it's about opportunity, finding the right opportunity in the right place. So it's not, I say, it's not buying and acquiring willy nilly. It's a very focused approach to buying the right sites in the right place and sites that can integrate into the wider business. So we have a major challenge to integrate the businesses, but we've got the right people in place to do it. So again, we're not playing in the hyperscale market. We're not going after the 100 megawatt type deals. We're very focused on urban enterprise and the opportunities there. So that's what's driving the growth, but it has to be the right growth.
So yeah, in terms of the focus, you say they're urban co-location, and you said you're not going into the hyperscale market. What about edge data centers? So I suppose the question is, what is it that differentiates you from either those hyperscalers or edge data center, or what, where do you fit within the ecosystem?
It's it's I guess urban enterprise sits between hyperscale and true edge. So it's it's about operational excellence. We're not the hyperscale market, and public cloud is not suitable for everybody. People want the proximity, they want the low latency, and with inference AI becoming more and more prevalent, they want the ability to have access, and lower latency deployment of what will become real world applications, and that's where we sit. So not true edge to the very edge, and not hyperscale. So we kind of sit between the two.
Yeah, and I'll ask anyway, but I think you potentially answered it. But clearly, you mentioned AI, so increasing demand for AI and hybrid cloud workloads as well. Mustn't forget those. But the customer requirements are evolving in the colo space beyond what you just said there. I mean, is it AI purely driving it, or other things going on? Just how are you seeing
I,
customer requirements changing?
I think there's a mix here. It's a good question. The AI deployments are driving densities that we've never seen before. But then the hybrid cloud um, demands flexibility. So we sit hopefully giving the best of both worlds, where we can have the higher density deployments, but offer of so it's a mixture of, I guess, the structure and the diligence around what would be a hyperscale deployment with the flexibility of retail colo. So it's around the proximity and the latency is where we're seeing the demand.
And in terms of your experience, and you mentioned it, previously, I think you pretty much, as you say, got the whole set, hyperscale, wholesale, retail colo, etc. So just that breadth of experience, how do you think that will help you and others shape Stellanor's commercial strategy? But with all that, and you mentioned obviously there are other folks, I guess, with experience. So yeah, how will that help moving forward?
It's it's about the diligence and the focus. So we're and understanding the wider picture. So I think between the team, we understand the full stack. So between that the very large machine learning type hundreds of megawatt sites right down to the single rack retail colo. So it's finding that discipline in between and having a focus, delivering sustainable, operationally brilliant data centers in in the right place, so that the density of population will dictate where we go to.
And you mentioned again, I just follow up proximity. So just how important do you think that is in terms of proximity to enterprise customers when it comes to infrastructure decisions? And you mentioned those dense urban environments. So yeah, where are we now? And do you think it's going to become increasingly important as technology moves apace? Yeah, just your thoughts on the proximity side of things.
Proximity is critical, and it's becoming more and more critical. So as we deploy real world applications towards the edge of this stack, it's going to become more and more important. The latency, the operational access, and the flexibility to change as we go. It's very difficult to, if your data center is remote, it's a little bit more difficult to change things operationally. So it's the proximity is more so becoming more and more important.
And in terms of your secured grid capacity, I think was it 36 MVA, just more general, I suppose, the importance of power availability. It's no secret the data center build out and power, they don't sort of match. There's a bit of a gap potentially between the
Yep.
two. But how do you see power availability becoming a competitive factor in the UK data center market?
It's there's pockets of power and there's pockets of power in the right place. So securing power in the right place is absolutely critical, and we've done a really good job of identifying available power upgrades from existing sites that we're acquiring, and the ability to upgrade that to enhance the site. So power is critical. Obviously, nothing happens without the power, but it's having the power in the right place.
And that suggests I haven't asked. I should, in terms of the facilities you're acquiring, they are what you call brownfield sites. So they're maybe not a data center, but a
Yeah.
building that has power, and you're turning them to that, or you are also acquiring data centers themselves.
Um, all of the above. So
Yeah.
it's there are existing data centers, there are existing, I guess, supersized comms room that we're going to upgrade and turn into data centers. We will also look at brownfield, and we're also looking at a couple of greenfield options. So it's the full spectrum. Nothing's off the table. It's the right opportunity in the right place, and we'll have a look at it. But it has to be targeted to fit the platform and be able to integrate into the wider platform.
And also one thing that intrigued me, and clearly you won't want to necessarily give away any secrets of commercial advantage, but clearly there's a lot of people looking for these sites with power. How do
Yep.
how do companies like yourselves get there before anyone? What sort of
Sure.
network of investigators,
Yeah, there's a
manpower do you
that
throw at these kind of things?
that is the magic behind the curtain, I guess.
Yes.
We have a very good investor that has a lot of experience, and we have a lot of experience and a very wide network between the team as well. So knowing where we want to go, building the network out, and people are bringing us opportunities all the time, and we turn a lot of them down, and we and we'll pick the right ones to pursue, and we'll pursue them, and we can act quickly.
And in terms of also the power, I mean, are you looking at adding microgrids where relevant, on-site power generation, or are you pretty much at the moment just hoping that you've got the connection into the grid and that's
Um,
one for now?
the connection to the grid with the ability to upgrade is the perfect solution. Nothing's off the table. If it's sustainable, if it offers an advantage to the customers and offers an advantage to our returns, I think we'll look at everything. I mean, this industry is evolving
Mm,
rapidly. So
sure.
microgrids, and I've been involved in some microgrids recently in my previous employment, and it works and it stacks up.
Okay, and maybe just sort of looking ahead slightly, the biggest opportunities and maybe also if there are any challenges you see in terms of scaling, a leading urban colocation platform. What keeps you awake at night, if anything, and what are you looking forward to in terms of the opportunities?
The opportunity is that urban data centers and urban enterprise data centers, the demand is growing every day, and it's getting more and more important. The challenge is about executing. So it's executing, it's buying the right site in the right place and integrating the not only the real estate but the people that may come with that as well. So it's a mix. It's a huge opportunity. It's a huge challenge, but I think we've got the right team in place to perform.
I have to ask, and I expect you will bat the question away, but you're up to 10 sites now. Do you have any sort of target or any, I mean, can we expect you to at least double that over time, treble? Just any hint you can give us as to where you think this journey might take you?
Um, we will add more. Um, the scale of that, I think we have to watch this place, but it's about having the right opportunity. So we're not going to buy for the sake of buying sites. We're not going to acquire companies for the sake of buying companies. If it's the right fit and it fits the platform and the integration, then I think we're keen to have a look at it. But yes, there will be more.
And I guess finally, I mean, the word urban covers a multitude of things. So do you basically start, it's got to be a, conurbation or whatever of a certain size or above to make it interesting, or could you foresee, bearing in mind the way, the industry and AI is developing, and you mentioned inferencing, etc., that you might end up being in a lot of sort of smaller cities and even towns because of that proximity importance that
Yeah,
you mentioned earlier?
it's a really good question, and one we talk about almost daily. There are some logical, this city is big, so therefore it must be an opportunity, down to this opportunity is big, so it must be an opportunity. So there's pockets of certain industries that we'd like to target that don't necessarily sit in the center of a major city. So we would look at that as well. So no black and white answer. It's all around the opportunity.
It's been fantastic to chat, and I suspect if we talk again at the second half of the year, you might have some new numbers. But at least for now, I'd say some brilliant insights into what's going to keep Stellanor going over the coming months. So really appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.